Hello everyone, today I'm aiming to get the polytunnel frame up and mounted onto the foundation tubes. We'll see how we get on with that, but first I want to go in this tunnel and just show you what's occurring in here. Now I've got a complete kit of parts here, all the various tubes that I'm going to need for this tunnel to put it up, and I've set these up just to show you where I'm going to start, because these beds are all level. It's a good place to bridge these parts so that they, when I screw them together in a minute, they stay nice and level and straight. And then we'll find somewhere else on the plot or just outside of it where I can put each of these two bits together. This is actually two hoops here complete, but they'll go together in two pieces first, and then I'll put a couple of those half hoops together to make a full hoop, and then we can fit them to the polytunnel frame. Now in the first tunnel's manual, on every page for every step there is a QR code as such. I've got it set up on my phone. Hopefully if you just press play you'll be able to see, and they'll show you exactly each step, how it goes together and what bits you need. So if you do get stuck, you've got the help available on your plot, on your phone, or if not, there are phone numbers within the booklet and at the start and end of each of these videos. Now as part of the kit you'll find a little bag of these tiny but effective self-tapping screws. They've got their own little drill bit on the end, and they will drill into the metal. Just start drilling them slowly at first. Once you feel them start to bite, then you can speed it up and put some pressure on it to get it through two tubes, and it will hold them together. Now in this bag also was the driver bit for your little power drill, so that you've got everything you need there ready to go. And it's just a case of, as I say, very slowly at first, and you'll feel it starting to bite. And just be careful you don't overscrew it. Don't, once it's going home, don't go too far because you'll strip the thread. Okay. There we go, that's home, solid. So I've got the two hoops together here. There's four pieces to this hoop, and each pair on either side are screwed together, but I need to connect them over there. But I need to get some clips onto this first, so I'll get you in a bit closer and we'll get that sorted. These two halves meet here in the middle. The first two halves are screwed together. This isn't yet, and I need to get these clips on. This is a Q clip for one of the storm braces, and this is a P clip for the door frame timbers, and these go over like so. Now what you've got to be careful of here is I'm screwing from this side, and the screws on those are already on the inside, because this is going to be the inside of the tunnel, this will be the outside at the end. So you don't want anything protruding on this side, so all the fittings have to match and coincide so that they don't damage your polytunnel fabric. So that will sit on the outside, that's in the middle, and we'll screw through there. We'll just get these on. Now because these are all on these nice level beds here, just move them out of the way a bit. Yeah, we're all nice and level. Just a case of screwing this up now. Same as the others, start slowly There we go, sorted. Now you'll find that when you come to put your hoops on, that the hoop is actually bigger than the foundation tubes. That's because he meant to spring it back and then just spring it down and on, and there we go. Now you can see the size and shape of it, and fitting the rest is just a repeat of what we've done with this one, putting the hoops up, and then we start connecting the hoops together. So on with the next one. So I've got all my hoops laid out, they're all bolted together now, and all the clips are on that I'm going to need through this construction, with one hoop up and a step ladder in place. And just a safety thing, just make sure you've got something solid under a step ladder, otherwise you'll be sinking into the soil and falling off it. And I'm ready now to put the ridge pole on, which goes from the very top and connects all 5 hoops together. So I'll show you how that works now with those clamps. So this is the end hoop, this is the outside. I'm outside the tunnel now, and this is the inside. And these are the clips that are used. It's like an exhaust clamp, but in a weird shape. And the screw threads must go on the inside. And the ridge tube goes through here, try not to hit the camera, like this, and goes along the length of the polytunnel, and you just tighten these nuts up here. So this all goes up at the top there, but that's how easily. Now with the polytunnel kit from First Tunnels, you've got 5 bars to go to full length, and there is, on most of them, on 4 of them, there is a swage on one end and a plain end on the other. This one has got 2 plain ends. You start this with a plain end, and then it finishes with a plain end at the other end of the tunnel. So we'll get these on, we'll get these hoops up and get them connected. So now it's a case of getting your next hoop up and on the foundation tubes. Pushing them in to match, like so. And you can get your next ridge clamp on. And fit your next pole into the ridge pole. So this is a swaged end on this one. Pop into that through your clamp. And then you can start to tighten these things up, and you're starting to connect your tunnel together. Now it's important to note here that this clamp that I've just put on here wraps around the ridge tube here and the hoop across the top. But if you can see here, here's the gap where the 2 bits of frame meet, 2 bits of pole meet, and also around here. So they want to be dead central within this hoop, and that adds to the overall strength and rigidity and holding it together. So next up to fit are these corner stabilizers, and they come in a 2-part bar with flattened ends on either end, swaged so that one will fit inside the other, and you use a self-drilling screw to fix that. And I've got one fitted down here just loosely. It's about 8 inches up from the bottom of this hoop where it fits on the foundation tube, and I'm going to fit the other one, the other end, up there, so it kind of goes like this. So we'll crack on with that. And we've got our clamp that we already pre-fitted on the bar. Now the temptation here is to fit this inside the middle of the bolt. Don't want to do that because this Q-clip will close up as you tighten the bolts and secure itself onto the hoop. if you put that in the middle, it won't tighten up enough and it can move. So I'll squeeze it together as much as I can, put a bolt through, put my corner stabilizer on, and then I'm just going to nip this up by hand, maybe tighten it a little bit, because now we've got this on, we can do the second function that I believe these do. First of all, these stabilizers obviously stabilize it across the whole structure against wind, so that's a good thing. But the second thing you can do with this is, can you see that movement in the frame? So now if there is any inconsistencies in the way you put the frame up, or in the soil or land or anything, you've missed something, which does happen, and it's happened to me in the past, you now got the option to set this front hoop nice and square and level and upright, just by pushing this stabilizer down till it's right there. That's now going to be straight there, and that will help with the doors later. When I hang the doors off the front of that frame, the doors will open and close properly and everything's nice. And I'm just using a couple of sockets, just nip that up till it's tight. Then you can nip the other end up as well. And the great thing about these bars, if there is any inconsistencies, where I showed you where on the other bar where one swage fits into the other, if there is any, if the spacing is a bit too much or something, you can pull it out slightly before you set your self-drilling screw, so you can cover that space. You've got room to move with it, which is a brilliant thing. So that's now level, flat at the front, right angles, whatever you want to call it, and the doors will fit brill. So next up to fit are these little storm stays, and again the clips are already here because I put them on the hoops when I was assembling the hoops. So pop them through all the way through the bolt. And I've never actually used storm stays before, this is a new one on me, but I understand it adds rigidity to the frame. You only put it on the intermediate hoops, you don't put it on the hoops that are on the ends, because they've already got the corner stabilizers on. It just adds a bit more rigidity and strength to the overall structure once finished. So we'll just nip these up. That's it, like that. That's it. So there we go, that's it. The frame is up, all the bits are on it now, and I've got a couple more stages to do with this. I've got the timber to put around the base, which is the base rail, doesn't take long, and the door frame to put in, the doors to make and put them in, and then I can cover it. Now, I can't go any further at the minute. It's only 7 degrees today, and you need about a good 14 or 15 degrees really to put the cover on, because it needs to stretch with the heat of the day. So I can't really go any further. So all the final bits of putting this tunnel up will all be in one video, and I will chapterize that so you can see the different stages, or skip to the bits that you want to see within that video. Just unfortunately, while it's so cold, I can't put the cover on. So there we go, that's it. Best way to not miss that, of course, is subscribe. But for now, that's it. Look after yourselves, everyone. Please stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ra now.